Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about the invisible architecture that runs pretty much everything. We're talking about the digital nervous system of business. You ever stop and think about this? You're sitting on your couch, you click Buy Now on Amazon, and that's it. How in the world does that one tiny action kick off this massive global chain reaction of warehouses and trucks and planes, all to get a package to your front door? Or try to wrap your head around the scale of UPS. We're talking billions of packages every single year. Billions. And each one is tracked in real time across the entire planet. I mean, how is that even possible? How do you manage that much information? Well, the answer to both of those questions is actually the same thing. It's this hidden force, this incredibly complex web of technology that is quietly coordinating just about every part of the modern world. We call it the digital nervous system, and honestly, it's the perfect way to understand how modern businesses operate. So let's get into it. First up, let's talk about the digital brain of the whole operation. We're going to see why these information systems are way more than just computers. They are the essential core of any company today. And if you doubt for a second how important this is, just look at this number, $4.4 trillion. That's the estimated global spending on IT and related services in 2022 alone. Businesses are pouring money into this stuff because, let's be real, it's not a luxury anymore. It's about survival. So, what exactly is an information system? Well, forget the textbook definition for a second. At its heart, it's a team of tech and people working together. It sucks in raw data, chews it up, and spits out useful information to the right people at the right time. The whole point is to help them make smarter decisions, get everyone on the same page, and just keep things under control. It's really the engine that makes modern business go. Okay, now that we know what it is, let's see this system in the wild. We'll start with the physical side of things, the actual nuts and bolts, the operations and supply chain. Let's go back to our UPS example. The second the driver picks up your package, beep, the barcode is scanned. That little piece of data shoots straight to a central computer. And at every single stop along the way, a warehouse, a plane, another truck, beep, beep, beep. It creates this digital breadcrumb trail that you can follow from your phone. That right there, that's the digital nervous system in action, turning a messy physical journey into clean, simple data. And what's so cool is how this has totally flipped supply chains on their head. You know, it used to be a one-way street. Information moved slowly, in a straight line, from one company to the next. But now, it's a network. Everyone can talk to everyone else, all at the same time. This makes the whole thing unbelievably fast and flexible. And here's a perfect case study. This company, Lensing, makes fibers, and they're big on sustainability. But they were trying to run their massive global operation with Excel spreadsheets. Yeah, not ideal. So they switched to a single unified system. Suddenly, they could match exactly what they were making with what the world actually needed. The result? Way less waste, which helped them nail their green-friendly goals. Okay, so these systems can manage all the physical stuff, but they also work like the senses of a business. They're how a company sees, hears, and ultimately responds to its customers. This quote absolutely nails it. Today, it's not just about what you sell, it's how you sell it. Think about the Ritz-Carlton hotels. They use a really powerful system to track customer preferences. So when a guest checks in, the system already knows they like the room a certain temperature or prefer a late checkout. It creates this super personal experience that people remember, and that builds incredible loyalty. And this is where things get really interesting. The top companies use these systems to build advantages that are almost impossible for competitors to copy. Amazon's one-click shopping? That was patented. Apple's massive music library? All digital. Nike letting you design your own custom sneakers online? These aren't just cool features. They're entire business models built from the ground up on information tech. All right, so we've gone from the physical backbone to the customer-facing senses. Now let's move into the brain itself. How the digital nervous system helps a business think, decide, and react. A lot of these systems are built around this classic decision-making model. It's pretty simple, really. First, you gather intelligence. What's the actual problem? Then, you design a few possible solutions. After that, you make a choice. And finally, you implement it. You make it happen. A good information system is feeding you the data you need at every single one of these steps, helping you make a smarter call. Now, more and more, AI is doing the heavy lifting here, and it generally learns in two main ways. You've got supervised learning, which is basically like training a puppy. You show the AI a million pictures of cats, and you tell it this is a cat. Eventually, it learns what a cat looks like. Then you've got unsupervised learning. This is where you just dump a mountain of data on the AI and say, go find something interesting. It discovers patterns and connections all on its own. And one of the coolest tools for this is something called a neural network, which, as the name suggests, is kind of modeled after our own brains. By looking at millions and millions of credit card transactions, it can learn to spot the super subtle little patterns that signal fraud, patterns a human would probably miss every time. Okay, but if you've got this incredibly powerful and valuable nervous system, you have got to protect it, right? That brings us to cybersecurity, the digital immune system. And the threats out there are no joke. We call it all malware, but it comes in different flavors. You have viruses that latch onto legit programs. You have worms that can copy themselves across a whole network without any help. And then you've got the classic Trojan horse, which looks like something useful but is secretly doing damage. All of it is designed to cause chaos, and the cost of cleaning up the mess is, well, it's in the trillions. So how do we fight back? Well, passwords alone just don't cut it anymore. That's why multi-factor authentication is so important. It's all about layers. It forces you to prove who you are in multiple ways. Something you know, like a password, something you physically have, like your phone, and something you are, like your fingerprint. It just makes breaking in so much harder. So, where is all this technology heading? For our last section, let's take a quick peek into the future and see how this digital nervous system is continuing to evolve. We are right on the edge of another huge leap forward. You've got technologies like blockchain that could completely change how we handle transactions. The metaverse might create entirely new places to do business, and things like computer vision and even more advanced AI are going to give these systems abilities we can't even really imagine yet. And all that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question. These systems are getting smarter, more connected, and more independent every single day. So as the digital nervous system of business keeps evolving, what's that going to mean for us? For our jobs? For our privacy? For our society? That's definitely something to think about.